Welcome to Dark Knight Films Reviews and another Versus Night. Tonight, I will be comparing The Bachelor and the Bobby-soxer, released in 1947, versus Honeymoon, also released in 1947. So, let's get started on this one with the leads. The Bachelor and the Bobby-soxer stars Cary Grant and Myrna Loy. Honeymoon stars Shirley Temple and Francois Tone. Now, I had already seen The Bachelor and the Bobby-soxer before, so I was aware of what was going on with this story, but I had never seen, prior to this Versus Night, I had never seen Honeymoon. So that was a first-time view for me, and I actually enjoyed the performances of both Shirley Temple and Francois Tone in there. And I was not expecting what I got from Tone as an actor, because I had never seen him, to my knowledge, in anything before, and going by his name, I was expecting him to be like a French actor, you know, speaking with a French accent or something, and he had none of that. He spoke really great English, so I'm guessing he was maybe Canadian or something, and had the French Canadian kind of a name or something, because he was from Canada and shit. But yeah, he's great, and his line delivery on everything that he was saying, his chemistry alongside Shirley Temple was great. I don't think it's as good as Cary Grant's and Myrna Loy's, though. Those two just, oh my God, they were great together in The Bachelor and the Bobby-soxer. So I'm going to give a slight edge here to Cary Grant and Myrna Loy on Bachelor and the Bobby-soxer, just because of that. I mean, nothing against Shirley Temple and Francois Tone. I mean, they did fine, but I just don't think they can compare with the greatness of Cary Grant and the lovely Myrna Loy. Alright, so let's move on to supporting and see if we can get a different outcome there. The supporting cast on Bachelor and the Bobby-soxer consists of Shirley Temple, Rudy Valley, Ray Collins, Harry Davenport, and Johnny Sands. The supporting cast on Honeymoon consists of Guy Madison, Lena Romay, Jean Lockhart, Karina Murrah, and Grant Mitchell. Now, when you compare these supporting casts, Honeymoon surprised me because it is a mostly Mexican cast of actors and everything in here, and a lot of them are actually speaking Mexican throughout the film in certain spots and everything in here, which shouldn't be surprising considering the film takes place in Mexico City, but most Hollywood movies would just make all these Mexican characters, speaking in English and everything throughout the whole film. But they actually have them speaking Mexican in here, which was a really pleasant surprise to me in the film. I liked that aspect of it. If you compare Guy Madison, the lover for Shirley Temple in Honeymoon, with the young lover of Johnny Sands in The Bachelor and the Bobby-soxer, they're pretty equal as far as their performances, because to me both of them didn't really exude as much experience as actors as what the rest of the cast and supporting cast do in these films. But I think that wasn't a detriment to the films. I think it kind of helped, because their characters, it made them a little bit different than other characters, if that makes any sense. So I wasn't bothered by their acting not being up to par with all of the rest of the people in these films. And that's really weird because, Shirley Temple, around the same age as Johnny Sands, and yet when she was playing in her supporting, she was much better. But you also have to consider that she had been acting since she was a child, and of course, by the time she gets to her teens, she is going to be as experienced and as good as a lot of these other actors. Although I don't think she's still not as good as Myrna Loy, but her scenes with Myrna Loy playing her younger sister in here were very well done. She does a really good job in there with her. Another performance that I really enjoyed in Bachelor and the Bobby-soxer was Ray Collins. Ray Collins was great as this character, right alongside Myrna Loy, trying to help, be her conscience and helping her to make decisions along the way and everything. And I thought I was going to get the same thing when Gene Lockhart's character made his debut in Honeymoon, but right after that scene, he just disappears from the film, and he doesn't pop up again until the very end, which was quite disappointing because I really like Gene Lockhart, and I was expecting a lot more from him in this film. But overall, I think I'm going to give this one to The Bachelor and the Bobby-soxer. Once again, I think it just had a stronger supporting cast, but kudos to Honeymoon though for the mostly all Mexican cast that they did in there in the supporting, with the exception of Gene Lockhart and Guy Madison. Most of them were all Mexican actors in here, and they were great in the roles. All right, so let's move on to story and see if we can get a different outcome here. The story for Bachelor and the Bobby-soxer consists of a teenage girl develops a crush on an older Playboy man, and her guardian then agrees to have him date her, hoping the infatuation will die down. The Honeymoon story consists of a young woman and her sweetheart, GI Corporal, run into all kinds of red tape when they plan to elope in Mexico City. Now, one thing I was not expecting with this story on both of these, because I already knew, like I said, about this story for Bachelor and the Bobby-soxer, of how Shirley Temple develops this big crush on Cary Grant, and then Myrna Loy kind of goes along with it thanks to Ray Collins. And that wasn't what I was expecting from the plot outline I was seeing from Honeymoon, but basically Shirley Temple kind of gets that kind of a crush that she had in The Bachelor and the Bobby-soxer kind of with Francois Tone as well. So that's something I wasn't expecting. It does have a similar vibe. I wasn't expecting that when I did this versus, so that was a pleasant surprise that they were similar enough that comparing them, other than Shirley Temple. That was the only thing I was comparing them because of originally. So it's funny that they end up actually having stories that are very close. But overall, I think this is too close to call. I think both of these are damn good stories on them. I think they're well executed, well written. Dialogue on all characters is great in both films. So I'm going to give this one a tie or draw, as you may call it. I'm going to give each one a point on this one. Alright, so let's move on to direction. See if we can get a different outcome here. Alright, so The Bachelor and the Bobby-soxer is directed by Irving Reese, and Honeymoon is directed by William Kiley. Now, I've already talked about William Kiley on this channel. I've talked about two movies that I did at a Versus Night already, with The Adventures of Robin Hood and Captain Blood. And he directed both of those films, and I was surprised when I saw that he was the director for Honeymoon. I didn't know who directed it originally when I put it down on this versus night. But he does an excellent job directing this, and you would not expect that because, you know, these other two films that he directed were more action adventure kind of things, and this is a, you know, comedy romance kind of a story. So he did very well directing that. But also, Irving Reese did an excellent job as well on The Bachelor and the Bobby-soxer. I love how he directs Cary Grant and Myrna Loy in their slow turn toward feeling toward each other to where they're almost gonna get together and everything. I love his direction in that and everything. Whereas it was just the opposite with William Kiley, because, you know, he directed Shirley Temple to already be with Guy Madison's character, and when Francois Tone is trying to help throughout the whole film to get them married and everything, she gets this infatuation for him and starts having feelings toward him. So that was well directed by William Kiley as well. So, oh man, this is a tough one. I'm going to do the same thing I did with the story. I'm going to give this one a tie. It's, you know, it's too close to call on this one. They were both well directed. So that gives our final winner, The Bachelor and the Bobby-soxer, with a score of 4-2. Very, very close here because, you know, both these films are great, and I would suggest both of them for anyone. None of these films are bad to where, because just because Honeymoon lost this one, that it's bad. It's not. It's a great film, and I think you should seek it out and watch it, especially if you're a fan of Shirley Temple and you would like to see her when she was in her teenage years. And I just hate the fact that Shirley Temple wasn't as successful as a teenage actress and later on an adult actress, because she still had that unbelievable, incredible talent in both of these films. It showed. She is a star still, in my opinion, she at this point in her career. So it kind of was disappointing for me to, you know, when reading the history on this stuff, that, you know, her career kind of languished when she made it to her teen years, you know. Sad. But anyway, what do you guys think of these two films? Do you agree with my assessment? Do you disagree? Let me know in those comments down below. And as usual, if you enjoyed this video, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to click that bell icon so you can be notified about future videos just like this one. And while you're by the subscribe button, click that join button and become a Dark Knight fan. As a Dark Knight Fan Plus member, you have access to an area on the channel right now where you can request a movie, TV series, or ranking video of your choosing, and when that video goes live, it will go up for all Plus members prior to it going up on the regular schedule for all other subscribers. So if you want to get interactive and help me to get more reviews on here that you would like to see, become a Plus member. Well, that's the end of another Versus Night. If you missed last week's Versus Night, check out the link up in here. Or if you've missed any of the other Versus Nights, check out our playlist and see anything that you have missed.